Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Starmie's Hope. My name is Laura. It's been a while. I don't think I have posted a video for all of February or March. I've been super busy. Just light my candle. Yeah, I've been really busy and I haven't had time to actually do any videos. Got some exciting things on the go. Basically it's like loads of collaboration stuff. So February was basically taken up with me doing a tarot spread collaboration on my Instagram page with my friend Joy, and we created a Gilmore Girls shadow work kind of spread, and then we were working through it every week of February. We were doing a section of it on our Instagram pages. So that was kind of February. And then this month I have been, again with my friend Joy, we're starting a podcast. It's got nothing to do with tarot. It's about the television series Supernatural. So if you liked Supernatural, watch this space. Well, maybe not this space. Go find our Instagram page. So it's going to be a Supernatural rewatch podcast. It's called The Women of Letters. And you can find us on Instagram at The Women of Letters podcast. So yeah, if you're interested in Supernatural and you want to hear from maybe some different point of views than you've heard of before for each of the episodes, then check us out. So Joy has watched all the episodes. She is a big, massive fan of the show. And she's also a practicing witch. So it'll be really interesting to hear from her point of view about all the kind of occulty things and whether they're real or not, whether they're accurate or not, should I say. And then me, I've never watched it before. It's one of those shows that I always meant to watch and never got around to it. So I'm going to be watching it for the first time. So yes, it's been so fun, but it's taken up most of March, like just planning, working out what we're going to do. We've recorded and edited the first few episodes, so we're getting ready for that kind of release point, but we're not quite there yet. Anyway, none of that has anything to do with tarot, so I don't want to take up too much time talking about that, but I am very excited about it, and it is why I haven't had any time to do any videos. Well, seeing as I'm talking about TV, I might as well just start with TV and then go into decks, because I haven't got a lot else to talk about really. So TV this month, so this is going to be a wrap-up video for February and March. I probably should have said that at the start. So it's a wrap-up of things I've been doing for the last 2 months since I last spoke to you all. So TV shows that I've been watching. I finally finished my Charmed rewatch. The last season, it dragged a bit. It took me a while to watch that one because I kind of lost interest by then, to be honest. The rest of it was also much fun though to watch again. Also, I was rewatching The X-Files last year, and I got up to the reboot and kind of stopped. So I'm now trying to finish that off. Now I finished Charmed, so I'm now rewatching season 10 and 11 of The X-Files to finish that rewatch off. I've started watching Supernatural, obviously, for the podcast. I've only watched the first 3 episodes so far, and we filmed the first 2 episodes worth of our podcast episodes. I started rewatching Gilmore Girls again. Well, I'm always kind of rewatching that. It's my comfort show, so it's the one I put on all the time if don't know what to put on. I just usually put Gilmore Girls on. But from doing our tarot spread, I kind of was watching it again, so I've been rewatching that. There's only really one new show that I've been watching, and it's not even that new, I don't think. It's new to me, and that is called Wolf Like Me, which I found on Amazon Prime. I don't know if any of you have seen that. It's about a woman who is a werewolf, and she's kind of starting this new relationship with this guy who has a daughter, and everything that kind of goes along with that. And it's really good. I've been really enjoying that. But there is 2 seasons out so far. I've only watched the first one. So yeah, that's about it. Books, I've only really got one to talk about. And I've only just started, I've really only just started reading it as well. But this one, so it's called Wayward. It's really good. So it's 3 different women throughout history. I'm assuming they're all going to end up being related or something. But it's one. There's a woman in the present day, a woman from 1942, and then a woman from 1619, who's a witch. I'm guessing that they're all going to end up being, or realising that they are witches. It's really good so far. I can't really talk too much about it though because I am that far in, so I haven't got that far yet. Okay, I just wanted to quickly show you my journals because I can't remember if I did this in the last video or not, but I have got 2. This is my journal I've just finished, and this is the one I'm about to start. I did get this one prepared like January, February time, I think, because I thought I was going to use this up a lot sooner than I did, because I've had like 2 months where I haven't done a lot. It's now finished. So this one I started in November, and it's the 1st of April when I'm recording this, and I'm just going to start. I haven't got anything in here yet. I'm going to be starting this one, but I just wanted to show you the stickers. So this is the one that I've been using for the last part of the year. So kind of winter. I had this sticker that came with my winter weight deck that I stuck on there. I've got some like horror film stickers from some of my favourite horror films: The Silence of the Lambs, Scream, The Shining, a crystal and a moth, and that was it. I didn't put anything else on here. But yeah, so that's my journal I've just finished. And this one is the one I'm about to start, which does kind of feel more springy, so that's actually worked out quite well. So I've got some Alice in Wonderland stuff on here. This was a sticker that came when I bought the Oak Ash and Thorn, and this is the Lover's card from the Oak Ash and Thorn, and I got a sticker version of it when I bought the deck. I've got some of these cat and plant stickers which I like, and then I've put another Alice one on the back, some little stars. So yeah, so that's my journal I'm about to start. Right, decks. So we'll start with, there's quite a few, but I haven't got out everything I used in February and March because we'd be here forever. So in February, my main deck I used for daily pulls was Gromolkin's Curious Cats. So I've been using just one deck for my daily pulls a month, and I'm trying to use decks that I want to get to know a bit better, or I haven't really used a lot so far. And I bought this one last year. That's when I went to London. I got it from Watkins Books in London, and I haven't really used it. It was in the summer. I haven't really used it since. I haven't really used it a lot. I used it when I first got it, and then I put it away. So I wanted to get this one out again, and I'm glad I did, because I now really, really like this deck. I've kind of gotten attached to it. In fact, I think this is going to be my cat deck now, and the other cat deck that I've got I might end up rehoming. This one seems more, I can use it at any time. It's kind of got all the seasons involved in it, but it's got quite a lot of springtime feeling cards as well, like trees and birds and flowers. There's a lot of magnolia in here, which I associate with spring, and it's one of my favourite trees to see when they start blooming in the spring. So yeah, so I know I'm quite attached to this, and my other cat deck is the Cats Rule the Earth deck, which is really good as well, but I only tend to get that out in the autumn. It feels very autumnal because of the colour palette. So yeah, so that one might end up rehoming, I don't know. I still do like it. So yeah, but there's loads of magnolia, which I really like. Like there's magnolia in nearly all of the cards. So yeah, so this one I used for daily pulls. I think that's a good way to kind of get to know a new deck. If you're not sure if you want to use it, it kind of helps you see how it's going to read, the kind of messages you get. And it's been really good. Like the guidebook you get with it, that is, it's a really good. It's not got loads of writing about each of the cards, but it's got enough. and what is written is actually really, really helpful. So I really like that deck. So that was for my daily pulls in February. My main deck I used in February is this one. So this is the one I used for my challenge. I talk about it usually every one of these videos, but I do a tarot challenge on Instagram every month. And I'd chosen for February, I'd chosen like a self-love, I've edged it in pink. I chose like focusing on self-love kind of challenge, and I decided to get this one and use this deck, and it really was powerful for those kinds of messages. So yeah, so I used this one a lot, and it really did help me with that challenge and with my self-love practice, self-care, self-love, recognising and appreciating myself. I really like this Empress card. But yeah, so I really like it. There's so much symbolism in here as well that I was finding really interesting. So yeah, that was my deck, my main deck that I used in February, I would say. These are the backs. I always forget to show the backs. And then the only other thing really that I did in February was the kind of fellowship stuff. So I am a member of Dawn Michelle's YouTube, like her Weavers group on YouTube, and I pick 3 decks every month to work with for that. So for February I used the Seed and Sickle Oracle, the Oak Ash and Thorn, and the Woodland Wardens all together. So these are the only other decks I really used a lot in February. So the first 2 decks, the way that it's kind of set up is you usually pull an oracle card for the week. There's like a weekly, kind of like a weekly spread, a weekly adventure, and then you pull tarot. Sometimes these get read together and sometimes they don't, but so I always try and use a pairing that kind of, I think, goes nicely together. I'm trying to think now whether I did do it this way around, or whether I had Woodland Wardens. No, I think Woodland Wardens was the end of the week deck. So yeah, so these ones sometimes get read together, but sometimes they just get read on their own. I really like both of these decks. Like the illustrations on this deck are beautiful. I do wish I had some more the keyword on it, but I don't mind using the guidebook for oracles anyway, so it doesn't bother me that much. And the Oak Ash and Thorn is just beautiful. Like, it's Adam Ola's illustrations, and I love his illustrations so much. And I love all of the kind of animals in here. It's all the animals that I would see around near my house. So you've got foxes, hares, crows or ravens, hedgehogs. I love this hermit card. It's just such a beautiful deck, and the cardstock is amazing. This is the mini version, and you can get it full size or mini from the creator's website, which is 3 Trees Tarot. And they have the Smoke, Ash and Ember as well, the dragon deck, which I haven't got. But maybe if they come out with a mini, I might get that as well. But I don't know, I'm not really as drawn to using dragon things as I am like woodland creatures. This is nice with the moth. So yeah, so I used these 2 decks, and then I also used the Woodland Wardens for that practice as well. Oh, so I'm having issues with my box. Let me just put this one away. So I also use the Woodland Wardens Oracle. I really like this one. I like how you've got a keyword, so you can just work with that, or you can then look at the guidebook and read the information in there, which is also really, really good. It's a really good guidebook. But I like the illustrations again. I like how it's also got a bit of botanical information as well, because that is something I'm interested in learning a bit more about, as well as animal energy, and combining the two is something I'm interested to learn about both. So this seems like a good starting point for that. And I think in the guidebook it does mention the animal as well as the botanics. And yeah, let me see. Yeah, it tells you what the botanical meaning is, as well as what the animal could mean. But it's kind of like talking about it together. Yeah, so it's really good. So I was enjoying that too. So that was my main decks I used in February. I also got a new deck in February, I think it was February, it might have been January. It's one of the only decks I've had so far this year, because I'm not really buying them at the moment. But I got the Outgrow Yourself, which is an Oracle and Tarot. I've been using it mainly as an Oracle. I love this deck, you guys. Like, I have fallen in love with this deck straight away. I feel like it's going to be one I'm going to use for like my personal... I can't imagine reading for someone else with this. But I love the phrases you get on it. So I've just been using it as an oracle and reading these phrases and sometimes the keyword. It does link to the tarot as well. You'll see when we get to some of the majors and the court cards have got the actual name on them. Like on the aces, it says Ace of Cups on that one. And like, so death says death. And justice says justice. But I kind of just am using these phrases really. And I don't even know, I can't work out just from looking at them which of the minors they are. Like if you kind of think about it, the swords are easier because you can just count, there are usually these knives on the swords cards and you can count them up and you know which card it's supposed to be. But that kind of takes me out of the reading. I'd rather just use these. I've got no way of putting it back in order as well. So, well, I did take photos of it when I first got it. I laid it all out with the suits so that I could make a reference back to it if I wanted to know what a certain card was. Like if I was like, right, what is this one? I don't even know what suit this one might be. I have got a record of that. I took a photo of them all laid out. So yeah, but I haven't used it yet. But yeah, this character, the character in the cards, I just identify so much with it. And I feel like this is a very personal, it's going to be a very personal deck for me. It called me out the very first reading I ever did with it. And it's just I've had really powerful readings. This week actually, I've been using this as my, just before I go to bed, pull a card. So it's living on my bedside table at the moment. I don't know if it's a deck I'd use for like a big reading. Maybe I might need to give it a go. I've been kind of just pulling 1, 2, 3 cards every now and then, and that's it. But yeah, really powerful, and I love it so much. I kind of want to edge it. I don't know what to edge it in though. I think it's going to have to be either black or this yellow. might just leave it. I've seen this deck around and I've always thought I wanted it, but I wasn't sure how to get my hands on it. And in the end, I just got it directly from the creator, who is in Sweden, I want to say. And I thought there might be customs charges, but there wasn't. Yeah, and it was actually really simple to get, and I hadn't thought it was to start with. Anyway, so that's February. For March, my deck for daily readings, I got out my cute little Lenormand, because I want to learn more. I want to read with Lenormand a bit better. I want to know the associations more. So what I ended up doing, I started off trying to pull 3 cards and make a little reading out of them every day, but I was finding that too difficult, so I ended up doing pairs, and I did that all month. And I don't think I'm very good at reading with Lenormand cards, because none of the messages were really resonating that much with me. But I do feel like from doing that every day, I have formed more of a understanding of the meanings of the cards. So that's been really helpful. And this one's really simple and it's really cute. So I was using that for my daily pulls. My main deck for the month, I didn't have a main deck for my challenge this month because it was like a scavenger hunt challenge I did, so I was using random decks. But my best, or my favourite pairing of the month was these 2 together. I love, with Tarot Colour Tides, I love this deck, and this one is one that I've not really had a very good relationship with since I got it, and to the point where I was like, I'm just going to get rid of it because I don't like it. But I thought I'd give it a go. I saw someone, I can't remember who it was, it might have been Dawn Michelle. I saw someone pair these 2 together, and I was like, oh, that looks really nice, so I thought I'd give it a go, and it was good. So I used it for my, not all of them, but most of my week ahead readings, where I tend to pull an oracle and then a few tarot cards. And for my month ahead reading, I use this one. So I was pulling one card from here, and then some tarot cards with it. I do really like the artwork in this deck. There's just something about it that I just don't really. These cards are weird, but I really do like the artwork. So I wanted to make it work. The guidebook's a bit too convoluted and a bit too woo for me, to be honest. So I'm kind of skimming it and just getting an overall meaning and using the keywords. The keywords are really good. That's another reason why I didn't want to get rid of it, because the keywords are really good. So this is going to stay for now for a bit. Now I've got a pairing. In fact, let me put these together, because it does pair quite well with this. The backs of the cards. So Tarot Colour Tides, I love this deck. And these were going quite well together. Like the colours kind of match up. And it was giving me some really nice messages as well. And I think because the borders are this similar, they're not white, they're kind of like off-white, cream. It kind of looks nice together, as well as giving some good readings that I had. So yeah, so they're staying for now. I still don't like these cards, I don't get them. But some of them have got some good keywords. I have actually taken some of those ones out, but the ones that had good keywords I kept in. Yeah, so these decks, they worked really well together. I used them quite a lot throughout March. to the point where I was actually like, I don't actually know if I want to put them away for April, but I have. For now anyway. So that was the Tarot de Carlotides, which is a Fournier deck, and this one is the Modern Nirvana. I don't think I said that before. These are the backs. There's another 2 decks that I got out just to use for general readings throughout the month. So I got the Springwaite Tarot out. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera because I've got the glittery version. But, you know, start of spring, I was like, let's get this out. So these are the backs, very spring. There's lots of bunnies, there's lots of bees, there's lots of flowers in this deck. I'm hoping it's gonna, can you see the glitter? So it's got this lamination all over them, which is really glittery, which isn't the best for filming or taking photos of, to be honest, but, oh, I've got some reversals in here. I think I've shown this not too long ago, so I'll just show you a few, but it's basically just a redrawn version of the Rider-Waite-Smith, but made spring. There's loads of rabbits, there's loads of flowers, there's loads of rainbows. It's very colourful. Lots of daffodils. I love this card. Oh yeah, I think I talked about this on a video. So this card is the card that made me want to get the deck and the Devil card. I love this. And the Devil card was like a bee. Sorry, I put reversal. The kind of my Rider-Waite-Smith clone type decks I tend to use reversals with because, you know, I feel more confident with the meanings, so I tend to put reversals into them. That doesn't really make sense. In my head, that makes sense. So this is the Devil card. I love this card as well. I like rainbows, butterflies. Oh yeah, there's lots of, all the people in the deck are all butterflies. Love it. So yeah, so Springwaite, which I'll probably keep out for this month as well. Or I might put away for April and get out again for May. The other one I use just for kind of everyday readings. This is the Modern Witch. I made a bag for it because the box is driving me crazy. I have a love-hate relationship with this deck. I love it. It was one of my first ones. And I love the colours. And I love, it's just a modern version of the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's like a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. But the box it's Liminal 11, but it's before they started doing the magnetised bottoms of the boxes, and every time I pick it up, it falls out and it drives me crazy. So I made a bag for it. But yeah, so I hadn't got this one out I hadn't used this one for ages, so I decided to get this one out. And used it for just kind of my general everyday kind of readings. Everyone's seen that before, I'm not going to really go through all of them. And yeah, I made my little bag for it. And then 3 more. So for the YouTube fellowship challenge thing that I was doing, these were my 3 decks for March. So I used these 2, the ones that sometimes get used together and sometimes just on their own. So at the beginning of every week I would pull a card. So this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. So at the beginning of the week I was pulling a card from here, which I loved. I really do like this deck, and I tend to just use this. I usually pull a card a month and leave it out in my living room somewhere, and like research a bit deeper. I haven't done one for a while, but I've got some videos on my channel that's called Exploring Archetypes, to do with that practice. I still do the practice, I just haven't done a video for a while. So I usually pull one and leave it out, read about it. There's a go deeper bit in the book where I then research further throughout the month, see how it relates to my life in the month. And I really like that practice. It's become very integrated into my life, into my practice. And I really like the artwork on this deck. I've got another archetypes deck now as well. But this one, I just really like this deck. So it was interesting. I hadn't really used it for readings like with tarot as well until I used it this month. So that's been really helpful, and I want to use it more now. Rather than just, I've been using it on its own. I haven't used it with tarot. But now I have, and I want to do that more. And then my main deck for that kind of challenge or practice was Mystical Moments, which is one of my absolute favourites, which I've talked about and shown loads. So again, I'll just do a quick. I really like this deck. It's a very intuitive reader for me. The guidebook does have some really helpful insights as well, but this one gets me thinking about things in a different way. Instead of just using a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, I mean, this is based on Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's not what I would call a clone. When I'm using those kinds of decks, my brain just thinks of, you know, oh, what is the meaning of this card in the tarot? Whereas this one makes me think, what's going on in the pictures? And it just makes me think a bit more intuitively about the meanings, which is why I think it gives me such good readings whenever I use it. So yeah, I really like this deck. Again, not a very good one for filming though, because it's so shiny. So that's Tarot of Mystical Moments. Oh, and these are the backs. And then at the end of every week, you pull a card. In this practice, we've been pulling a card, and I was using Magical Herb. So the theme this month was kind of gardens. And I don't really have... Tarot of Mystical Moments reminds me of a garden. And then this one because it's plants. So this is kind of like the ending of the week. You pull yourself a little card to kind of wrap up the week. And I've been using this one. I like the keywords. They're just very simple. And I think I talked about it before in a deck pairing video once, that it goes really well with Tarot of Mystical Moments. So I got them out to use together. Oh, and I didn't say what it was. It's the Magical Herb Oracle. And the backs of here are nice as well. So yeah, so they are all the decks that I used in March. I think that's all I've got to say, really. So let's put these in there again. So yeah, so thank you for watching. Leave a comment below if you feel like it. Like my video if you feel like it. And I will try and do some more videos this month rather than leaving it too long. So until next time, bye.